From the day Mr. and Mrs. Forgetfuls moved into the nursing home, their lives took on a new rhythm. They found a charming place called Sunny Meadows, which felt cozy and welcoming. The staff were kind, and the other residents became fast friends. Mornings began with a leisurely breakfast in the bright, sunlit dining room. Mr. Forgetful, still grumpy but growing more accustomed to the routine, often mixed up his oatmeal with Mrs. Forgetful's cereal. She would gently correct him, and they'd laugh together. The nursing home organized daily activities, which Mrs. Forgetful eagerly signed them up for. There were art classes, where Mr. Forgetful discovered a surprising talent for painting, even if he sometimes forgot what he was painting halfway through. Mrs. Forgetful enjoyed knitting circles, making blankets for their grandchildren. Afternoons were often spent in the garden. Mr. Forgetful liked to sit by the koi pond, though he often mistook the same fish for different ones each day. Mrs. Forgetful, patient as always, would tell him stories about their life, even if he didn't always remember them. He enjoyed hearing them nonetheless. One day, while exploring the grounds, Mr. Forgetful wandered into the library, thinking it was their room. Mrs. Forgetful found him there, engrossed in a book. "What's that you're reading, dear?" she asked. "I'm not sure," he admitted, squinting at the cover. "But it's quite good." Evenings were their favorite time. They'd join the other residents for movie nights, though Mr. Forgetful would inevitably fall asleep halfway through. Mrs. Forgetful would cover him with a blanket and hold his hand, grateful for these moments of peace. One night, as they sat by the fireplace, Mr. Forgetful turned to his wife. "I may not remember everything, but I do know I love you," he said softly. Mrs. Forgetful smiled, her eyes shining. "And I love you too. That's something we'll never forget." As time went on, Mr. Forgetful's memory faded more, but the love between them only grew stronger. They faced the challenges of aging together, finding joy in the small moments and comfort in each other's presence. Sometimes the hardest part of getting old isn't losing your memory, it's remembering that you need help. But with love, even the toughest days become a little easier.